And then up next, we had the Union Jacks come out. It's 3MB for those of you that didn't see the show and are just listening to it well because you're awesome. Yeah, the Union Jacks come out, 3MB, and Heath Slater is in a match against, well, actually, and before that I can even say who it's against, they start cutting a promo, but they get cut off by Lana's theme song because Heath Slater's going one-on-one with Rusev.
Yeah, really surprised that Rusev's going to crush, Heath Slater a 3MB here. But before that, she does cut a promo pretty much saying how Russia is so glorious and Vladimir Putin returned it to the status of a superpower, unlike America, which has failed. I'm surprised she didn't take any pot shots at London, because
She did, dude. She took so many pot shots. First of all, she said that this place is so similar to America. And then at one point she was talking about how this is what America will look like in the future. And she showed the White House with a Russian flag over it. And London is not much different. And she showed, I guess, some kind of London Capitol building replacing the UK's flag with the Russian flag. So she did take pot shots at them, too.
Oh, that's good. You know what? My stream must have cut out or something during that part because I did not see her showing the London Capitol building. I did see the White House with the Russian flag, which I thought was a clever little bit of Photoshop in there. But yeah, again, solid stuff. I'm still in shock that the whole patriotism, whatever. I guess we're in London, so un-American thing doesn't work. But yeah, that it still works in 2014. But kudos to them, it does. Rusev comes in and he pretty much destroys 3MB. Then the formal match with Slater starts, and Slater tries getting out of the box with some offense, but it's hopeless. I mean, he gets some right hands. Rusev hits the swing bottom on him, stomps him in the spine, locks in the accolade, and he taps out. So
You know what I
that's
really
that.
like about this whole thing, though? The way he sets that up?
What's that?
When he stomps on their back, it makes them lift up. Like their front of their body lifts up, and that makes it more convenient for him to put them into the accolade.
That's very true. That's very true. So it's not really just punishing for the sake of punishment. It actually does make the setup even easier than if he'd have to do all the work. So yeah,
It's
good
kind of like
observation.
when it's kind of like when Brian is going for the surfboard and he slaps the guy in the shoulders. It's so that they reach back and that way you can grab their hands. Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's like you're manipulating it, or like I don't know if you remember back when Caval was in TNA as Senshi, but what he used to do was when somebody would be hanging from a tree of woe, he would like grind his foot into their knee so that they would you do like a sit up and like reach up to try and fix it. And that was when he would come off the top rope with the double stomp. Like that body manipulation. I really like that psychology.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely, and I'm glad Rusev, pretty much since he came in to Raw, has added that little bit to the accolade being applied. So another win for Rusev. You have to wonder what the first major storyline of this character is going to be, because I mean he did have a little bit of a storyline going with R-Truth and Xavier Woods. But I'm wondering the first big name player he's going to work with. And really what surprised me even more about this, if you think about it, Ashton, we saw Big E in the Beat the Clock challenge, and Rusev did this. We got no follow-up from Big E saving Hacksaw on this show. That surprised me now that I think about it.
They're probably going to have follow up for that next week.
Right.
I'm assuming they didn't do that this week because nobody in the UK cares about Hacksaw because he's a patriot for America, not the UK.
Right.
So just a hunch there. So after Rusev crushes, we go backstage to the Shield, and Dean Ambrose says something about how Triple H was talking about teaching them a lesson and eliminating them, but it looks like Evolution is afraid of the Shield, and he hopes not because it payback, because they want an Evolution that wants to fight. He points
Yeah.
to Roman Reigns' black eye with the huge freaking lump with the scar, and Reigns is just like, 9 stitches. And I just got one question. Is that all you got? If it is, you got so many problems. I love that line. It was so good. And then he says, we're never going to stop coming for you. And then Rollins talks about how his first match with Batista, he messed up one time, and Batista took advantage of it because that's what he does, because he's smarter than we give him credit for. And then he says that Batista tried to end his career, but he couldn't get the job done. And that I won't make any mistakes tonight. So good. All 3 guys, pure gold.
Absolutely, absolutely. These guys really know in terms of talking, like how to play to their strengths.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns, I have said consistently that he is at his best with those sound bites, and I think he really recognizes that. And I just love that one line: "If that is the best you got so many problems." And it's
I
just
know the
so,
way he said. That's just like the first line that I remember him talking about at NXT. There are people that'll hate me, but them, they're irrelevant. They're irrelevant. It's just so like lackadaisical and laid back. He's just chilled out and he's like, yeah, I'm better than everyone. It's okay.
yeah, I love it. I love the nonchalant confidence of Roman Reigns. It really suits him. It suits the kind of performer that he is. And Dean Ambrose just looks like he can come unglued at any moment. And
And
I
I
and I
can't wait for the day that he does.
oh, dude, this world doesn't even know what it's in for when he does, and that's what makes me just revel in it. And Seth Rollins, of course, really, I said it before, his stuff in ROH just really, really blows my mind how much he's grown since then, with his mic work now, because he used to be horrible back then, but now he's just a consistently great talker. So big ups to all three members of the Shield. You guys are amazing. Believe that.
And believe in the Shield.
Oh, yeah.
So up next, we had our second Beat the Clock Challenge match of the night, RVD versus Alberto Del Rio.
I know there's this thing. I guess it started on the internet because everything virtually does. LOL Cena wins. It's kind of a running joke. I think you could apply that to RVD just as much. I don't think anybody would bat an eye.
Well, that's where the whole idea of No Job Rob comes from.
Right, right. Because I mean, these guys, yeah, they had a good back and forth. I thought one funny moment, it looked like RVD was going to go for the Rolling Thunder, and Cole preemptively called it, but RVD ended up doing a leg drop on Del Rio's head, which I
Well, yeah,
call
that's because Del Rio kept on lining up in the middle of the freaking ring rather than favoring one side like you're supposed to in order to take Rolling Thunder. He did it twice, and the first time was when RVD went for the leg drop. And the second time, RVD even leaned over like he was going to do the roll, but he realized that he didn't have enough room to do it. So he went up against the other rope and then did the flip senton. Like, Del Rio completely screwed that up for them.
Yeah, he did. Oh, speaking of which, I have to mention that Del Rio did a horrible screen promo before this, pretty much saying that he needs to win for the future of the Earth, and he needs to win for the children, to inspire them. That's the
It's
only
like
time.
taking a page out of Bo Dallas's book.
Yeah, this is the first time I've genuinely hated Del Rio because, well, forget the children. Why do they matter? But, so yeah, he does that. And Del Rio does get some impressive offense here. I mean, his in-corner enziguri, which sounded just so impactful. I know you even commented on it, like, damn, that impact. But that wasn't enough to put away RVD, of course not. He did move out of the way for the frog splash. I thought that was pretty good. So it had some good back and forth considering that they had to beat 5 minutes and 2 seconds. But in the end, it wasn't enough because RVD pretty much stacked him with a roll-up, and he won with 47 seconds to spare.
Dude, I was so annoyed because, like, I can understand Jack Swagger getting beat by a kick to the head in a 5-star. Del Rio just lost to a roll up, and it was in under 5 minutes with no distraction.
I know, dude. I know. It's no job, Rob.
It's just ridiculous. Like, at what point does this favor anybody other than him? Like, is somebody gonna beat RVD to make them look super awesome? Because I guess maybe the Intercontinental Championship would definitely make sense because spoiler alert, RVD did end up with the best time tonight, but still, like, I don't know. I guess that they're trying to protect RVD so that when someone does beat him, it means something.
Right. I mean, I think WWE really sees RVD kind of like they see, Jericho as that very legitimate performer.
Yeah,
So
but
when
they
it
don't protect Jericho at all. Jericho loses every match.
That's true. So in a way, RVD is almost higher up on the ladder than Jericho,
Yeah, I think
because
that's what they're doing. I think they're protecting RVD at least on TV because I don't think he has won anything on pay-per-view
no,
in the 2010s like at all because he wins a lot on TV. He might win 90% of his TV matches, but he loses 100% of his pay-per-view matches.
exactly.
Although he did pick up the pin on Swagger in the Triple Threat elimination match this past pay-per-view.
But remind everybody again who he fell to at that pay-per-view action.
Cesaro!
Thank you. That's what I wanted. So yeah, I mean, you know what? Since you already went ahead, and I don't blame you because anybody should have seen it coming. I know I did, unfortunately. I mean, RVD and Barrett should have a great match at Payback, but I really would have liked a more intriguing contender because no doubt I would have believed that no matter who came out, Barrett was going to retain. But you could at least create some suspense, WWE.
Right, but you know what though, dude? That's the thing. For those of us that aren't in the know, who read dirt sheets, who are aware that RVD is on a 3 month deal, it does create that suspension of disbelief. Because if you don't know that RVD is only going to be around until, well, when did he show up?
Didn't he show up I want to say the night after WrestleMania, didn't he?
Yeah. So that was early April. So RVD's probably going to be gone by June, or not June, July. I can math, I swear. Yeah, so RVD's gonna, but if you don't know that, yeah, I personally, like, if I didn't know that RVD was gone in July, I would be horrified for Bad News Barrett.
Right, right. No, that's definitely a fair counterpoint to be sure. So, anything else you want to say about this match?
It was a solid match, kind of annoying, but no big deal. Let's move on.